What's good, Culturalists? Today we're headed to the Bronx to break down one of the most respected and battle-tested crews in hip-hop, Terror Squad. From the lyrical weight of Big Pun to Fat Joe's evolution from street rapper to hitmaker, this crew gave us classic bars, timeless anthems, and more than a few what could have been stories. They had a serious run in the late 90s and early 2000s, but after some losses and label shifts, the roster changed up and momentum slowed. Still, the Terror Squad brand never really left the streets, and the names attached to it, they're still being mentioned. So in this video, we're checking in on where the squad ended up, who's still active, who fell back, and who found success outside of music. Now, rest in peace to founding member Charlie Rock LD, and salute to producers Cool and Dre, who were never officially signed to TS, but were heavily involved in crafting the bangers. Now, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap into our Patreon for bonus content. Let's get to it. Armageddon. Armageddon was the heavy voice in the crew. Aggressive, rugged, and street certified. He was part of the original Terror Squad lineup and held his own next to Pun, Joe, and Cuban Link on the album and early mixtape cuts. While he didn't always get the spotlight, he played his role like a vet. After the group's mainstream success faded, Armageddon kept it pretty low-key. He dropped solo work like The Journal Volume 1 in 2010, showcasing a more introspective and lyrical side than fans may have expected. The bars were still there, but the vibe was more grown man reflection than radio push. He popped up in a few interviews over the years, reflecting on the TS era with a level-headed perspective. No clout chasing, no beef, just honesty about what the ride was like and what came after. Still in the Bronx, still recording, and still part of that original TS DNA. Armageddon may not have chased the fame, but he stayed real, and for fans of that raw era, he's still respected. Prospect. Prospect was the quiet threat in Terror Squad. Never the loudest, but when he rapped, he made it count. His delivery was smooth, with a laid-back confidence that cut through tracks like Triple Threat and Pass Away. He was one of the more underrated members, but his pen game was solid. After Big Pun's passing and the group's commercial shift, Prospect's role started to fade. He didn't get the same push as a Joe or a Remy, but he remained loyal to the crew during their peak. In the years that followed, he went under the radar, occasionally dropping indie tracks and popping up for interviews where he shared stories from that golden TS era. While he stayed mostly out of the public eye, he never distanced himself from what he helped build. For Day One Terror Squad fans, Prospect is still remembered as a crucial piece of that original foundation. A Bronx MC who brought consistency and calm in the middle of a crew full of big personalities. Triple Seis. Triple Seis was there from the jump. One of the earliest members of Terror Squad and a close friend of Big Pun. His verses were street heavy, emotional, and always delivered with a raw Bronx energy. You can hear it on early Terror Squad joints and his features on Capital Punishment. After Pun passed and internal tension started brewing, Seis was one of the first to step away. He sided with Cuban Link during the fallout with Fat Joe and eventually left the group. His debut album, Time Will Tell, dropped in the early 2000s and was well received by fans still tapped into that Terror Squad sound. Over the years, Seis has continued releasing independent music and has reunited with Cuban Link on various projects. He also appeared in documentaries and interviews, often honoring Pun's legacy and speaking candidly about the highs and lows of the Terror Squad experience. Triple Seis may not have become a household name, but he was part of the movement before the world knew what was coming. To the real ones, he'll always be one of the original Terror Squad soldiers who helped lay the groundwork. Cuban Link. Cuban Link was supposed to be the next one up after Pun. Lyrically sharp and Bronx to the bone, he had the street buzz, the bars, and Pun's blessing. But after Pun's death, things soured between Cuban and Fat Joe, leading to beef and his departure from Terror Squad. His debut 24K was shelved and his career stalled in the majors. He dropped music independently, kept his name alive through battle tracks and interviews, but never hit that mainstream stride. He's remained vocal about his fallout with Joe, which still seems unresolved. Despite the drama, Cuban Link is still respected by those who remember his potential. Another what could have been from the TS camp. Tony Sunshine. Tony Sunshine was the melodic voice of Terror Squad, adding R&B flavor to a crew full of spitters. You'll hear him on hooks like All I Need and TS Piece. He was always the smooth counterbalance to Joe and Remy's aggression. After the group's momentum slowed, Tony tried going solo, signing with Jive and then later Sony. A few singles dropped, but the full-length project never landed. Still, he stayed active in the underground and has resurfaced in recent years, dropping a few independent tracks and reuniting with Joe on occasion. He never fully broke out, but Tony's voice is tied to some of Terror Squad's most iconic moments. Let us know your favorite song featuring Tony on the hook. Big Pun. Big Pun was the heart of Terror Squad and arguably the greatest lyricist to ever come out of the Bronx. His 1998 debut, Capital Punishment, made history, the first solo Latin rapper to go platinum. His bars were technical, the delivery was flawless, and the charisma was unmatched. Pun wasn't just nice, he was elite. But with the fame came personal struggles. His health declined rapidly, and in 2000, Pun passed away at just 28 years old. The loss hit the hip-hop world hard. He left behind a legacy that's still felt, from Still Not a Player to the Pun punchlines that MCs still try to mimic. Pun's impact can't be overstated. He opened doors for Latin MCs, repped the BX to the fullest, and brought lyrical warfare into the mainstream. A certified legend. DJ Khaled. Yes, technically DJ Khaled is a Terror Squad alum. Before the catchphrases and jet skis, Khaled was the crew's in-house DJ, holding it down on tour and helping shape the sound in the early 2000s. His role might have seemed behind the scenes at first, but he watched closely, soaked up game, and built an empire of his own. Once Khaled launched We The Best Music, he took what he learned from Fat Joe and leveled it up with a media-first viral approach. Over the years, he's turned compilation albums into chart-topping events. I'm On One, Wild Thoughts, Pop Star, God Did, all orchestrated by Khaled's Rolodex and vision. Say what you want, but the man knows how to create moments. While some might clown the motivational talk and constant shouting, Khaled flipped it into a full-blown brand. Endorsements, sneaker deals, books, even furniture lines. Everything's another one. He's also became a personality people love to laugh with and at, but he plays it smart every time. And despite the superstardom, he still gives Fat Joe his props, always acknowledging the role TS played in his come-up. From crate-carrying DJ to cultural icon, DJ Khaled is one of hip-hop's wildest glow-ups, and he's not done yet. We also did a ranking on Khaled's videos. Make sure to check the channel for that when you finish with this. Remy Ma. Remy Ma came in as the fierce lyrical assassin of Terror Squad, holding her own next to Pun and Joe at a time when few women in rap were being taken seriously for their bars. After her standout verse on Lean Back, all eyes were on Remy, and she delivered with her debut album, There's Something About Remy. But her career hit a wall in 2008 when she was sentenced to prison for 6 years. Many counted her out, but Remy came home sharper than ever. She re-entered the game with a renewed hunger, reuniting with Fat Joe and dropping All the Way Up, which put both their names back in rotation and earned Grammy nods. Since then, she stayed active in music, but also made a lane for herself in media. Her time on Love and Hip Hop helped reintroduce her to a new generation, and she's now regularly seen on battle rap stages and commentary panels. She even hosted State of the Culture on Revolt and co-owns a female rap battle league, Chrome 23. Remy's story is one of redemption, resilience, and proving that bars, authenticity, and growth can all live in the same artist. Fat Joe. Fat Joe is the glue that held Terror Squad together. From digging in the crates to digging in the mainstream, Joe's career is one of reinvention. He came in the game with that gritty Bronx energy, then took it global with Lean Back. After Pun passed, many thought TS wouldn't survive, but Joe leveled up, giving us hits like Make It Rain, All the Way Up, and What's Love, while keeping his ear to the streets. In the 2010s, he's become a king of summer singles and stayed relevant through collabs, storytelling, and his unmatched charisma. And now, he's fully transitioned into media and business mode. Between brand deals, fashion collabs, and his IG live show during the pandemic, Joe showed the culture he could move in any room. Most recently, he announced a new podcast with Jadakiss, two Bronx legends talking hip-hop life and legacy. It's another smart pivot from a guy who's always been a step ahead. Fat Joe might have come in as the street rep for TS, but he's become a cultural ambassador, balancing credibility, wisdom, and humor in a way only Joey Crack can. That wraps up our look at Terror Squad, one of the most slept-on, respected, and Bronx certified crews in hip-hop history. If you want more from CT, make sure to check out our Fat Joe albums ranked video here. And for the real ones, we've got exclusive album reaction content over on our Patreon, full breakdowns, deep dives, and early access. Also, if you want to rep your favorite label, check out our Raised Me hoodies and tee collection. We got Cash Money, Death Row, G-Unit, and more on the way. Drop a comment and let us know which label should we cover next. We've already got Rockefeller No Limit